Hello, hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special episode today, in which I get to interview the wonderful, and I'm very, very pleased to do so, Dr. Roxana Roshon. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Juliana.
Absolutely. And really, today, one of the main reasons why I invited Dr. Roshon to come talk to us is that one, her work is wonderful and it really has to be promoted and expressed bigger out there. But also, she has a new book chapter in this wonderful new book of hers. So I would like to give you, we're going to give you some information and give you the opportunity to read a little bit more about her work. So to get us going, I'm going to formally introduce you to Dr. Roshon, and then she's going to share some really special things with us today. So, toxicologist by training and healer by passion and choice. Dr. Roshon has her Ph.D. in toxicology and environmental biology from the University of Guelph and more than 15 years of consulting and government experience. Dr. Roshon bridges the gap between Western medicine and complementary therapies, and after personally experiencing the healing powers of alternative medicine, Dr. Roxana trained in holistic energy medicine such as acupressure points, therapeutic touch, craniosacral therapy, and Reiki, with an emphasis on indigenous healing techniques, Mexica Toltec. Her focus is on sensitive individuals who are feeling disconnected from themselves, others, and nature. Change is facilitated in people who are experiencing physical, mental, and/or emotional health challenges. This is also accomplished by clearing the energetic and spiritual patterns blocking their well-being. She offers also workshops in Lucid Dreaming, Mexican Healing Techniques, and nurturing your intuition. Dr. Roxana recently authored a chapter on energy medicine for a university textbook on holistic healing theories, research, and practices in 2019, which I highly recommend. So formally, I'd like to welcome you and thank you so much for your time today, speaking to us and sharing your wisdom. So, in order to start today's interview, what I would like to do is read just a paragraph from your book chapter, which I think is such a beautiful way to illustrate energy medicine. And really one of the main reasons why I feel this is such a wonderful topic to be discussed is that we are in the midst of the current pandemic. So many people, undergoing levels of stress they never thought about before, right? And it is definitely taking a toll of everyone's health in one way or another. And I really feel that there's such a special place for energy medicine always, but also growing during these challenging times. I know my audience may not know this, but I myself have been practicing energy medicine for over 19 years. So a lot of the things that you talk about have touched my life, and I've received healing from you myself in the past. And I highly, highly recommend that people learn more about it if it's new to them, or just dive even deeper, right? If this is something that they've been exposed to before. So what I'd like to quickly read before we get started is something that he wrote that I thought was really beautiful. And it says, energy medicine is completely inclusive. Our energy does not discriminate based on race, age, gender, sexual orientation, ability, socioeconomic status, or any other label. And I think that is so tremendously beautiful and important right now, in an era that we're all experiencing things together, right? So to get us started, and one of the things that I really treasure about your book is the amount of scientific literature that you went through to write this chapter, but also, the wealth of scientific references that you show that really sort of bring a next level of validity to concepts that were before maybe a little less tangible, right, to people. So if you don't mind, get us started by sharing a little bit of your story and what brought you here today.
I was one of those kids that had allergies at the age of 2. I was helping my mom bake bread, got covered in flour, woke up the next day all covered in hives, and the doctor took me off wheat, gluten products for the next 6 months, and then they introduced them slowly. And after they introduced them slowly, I never had the acute response. Yet I was in my 20s and realized that not everyone else had a tummy ache every day.
Right.
And so it was my own journey to heal my immune system, to boost my energy levels, to heal my lungs. In my mid-20s, I was on an EpiPen and puffer, had trouble making up 4 flights of stairs at the university, and, realized that I wanted a healthy life moving forward, realized that I didn't want to be allergic or asthmatic for the rest of my life, that I needed to work on my immune system. So there were a whole bunch of changes that I incorporated, starting with diet, exercise, meditation, yoga. And I started getting energy medicine conducted on me. So I went and saw my own energy medicine healer, in addition to a naturopath and a doctor of Chinese medicine and an Eastern herbalist and a Western herbalist. And it was just like, it became almost a mission, a passion that, I was going to fix my immune system, that I didn't want to be one of those people that couldn't walk when they're in their 50s.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's amazing. Mm-hmm. And it's really beautiful to see when the journey is inspired by our challenges, right? It almost brings a different level of purpose to the challenges that we've experienced, that we're really there to guide us to the path that we're now. And now you're touching the lives of so many people and bringing this, now with the book, this concept to, the masses, right? Which is like so beautiful. So that's wonderful. And I know you talk about your story in the book as well, which, people can read more about. So the other thing that I wanted to mention, there's one more piece of the book here that I wanted to sort of bring to our conversation, that you say that intuition, trust, and creativity, plus the sciences of biology, traditional Chinese medicine or TCM, applied kinesiology, anatomy, physiology, and quantum physics, all meld together into energy medicine, right? And especially for beginners that have heard the term, but they don't necessarily, understand what energy medicine looks like. I think it's really interesting when you kind of put it on that. It's almost like this collection, right, of different pieces of different modalities. So when it comes to the evidence, and your references in the scientific citations really touch on this, can you speak to the evidence that you have encountered to sort of quantify the impact of energy medicine?
Energy medicine has been around for thousands of years. And in our modern society, most people need to see it to believe it. Like, that's the scientific method, is that you need to prove it. Right. And so when I was making my transition from toxicology into energy medicine, there was this little experiment that I participated in which a client would go have live blood analysis done. It's where you prick the finger, you put the drop of blood on a microscope slide, and you look at it right away. It's right. Very qualitative, and you can look at the health of the cells as they're, in the body. And then they'd come for the clients, the patients would come for an energy medicine session, and then they'd go back and we'd look at their blood again. And it was in this little mini experiment that I realized that this really works, because we were seeing such amazing effects on the physiology, the blood chemistry of the people we were working with. So in the book chapter, there's a figure with 3 photos taken 5 months apart, and they demonstrate that the blood became healthier over time. That, at the beginning of when the person came, their blood was clumping, there was interstitial debris, and at the end, the blood was clearer, the cells looked normal and healthy. And anecdotally, the person mentioned that they felt better, their joints didn't hurt, they also felt physiological changes that were mirroring the results in the blood. So that's the moment when I went, okay, this is worth pursuing. This actually works. You can actually see that it's working. And it was within an hour, the blood went from, being more clumped to being more fluid. And there was really neat and exciting visual changes.
That is amazing. That's very good. And really, I feel that for a lot of people, especially beginners, right, having some of the evidences that you do mention in the book just kind of opens their horizons a little bit more, which in a way would also make the treatment even more effective, right? Once the mind is kind of like in alignment with what else we're experiencing.
Well, and I think from what I've seen is that the person can actually go, oh my gosh, that's my blood. Yeah. My cells are clumped. My cells are irregular, and I don't want that anymore. So to me, that's been a really powerful piece of this.
Absolutely. It's like evidence to see with your eyes, right? And you can't really deny that it looks different. And the photos in the book very clearly illustrate that point. So now looking at things from a more practical standpoint. So I know that you have a very vast array of different modalities that you're trained on, and one of them is acupressure that you mentioned earlier. And in the book, you talk specifically about one meridian that I think is really relevant for what we're all going through right now. So, are you able to tell us what meridian that is? What are meridians, and how can somebody use that in a very practical way to start improving their health?
So meridians are channels of energy that run through the body. There are 12 main meridians, and they run and feed the organs, our organs, with energy. And one of the pressure points that I've put in the book was the first pressure point I ever learned. And I was just talking to someone going, okay, I feel miserable. What have you done to start feeling better? And this is the point that she told me about. And so you find it's in the fleshy piece between your thumb and your index finger. And it is a bit closer to the index finger. And you just sort of massage in that fleshy bit. And it stimulates the large intestine. And it's the 4th point on the large intestine meridian that runs through the finger and then the arm and then down the body. And it's one of the pressure points that can stimulate the body and get the whole body moving again. And so one of the things that I really liked about that point was I would sit in a meeting, and I was still in mainstream, and I'd have my hands placed under the table on my lap, and I'd just be massaging it, and nobody else would know, but it would feel like I could feel the energy start moving, and my body flowing again. It's a really neat one to start on. And there are just so many pressure points we can do ourselves. So, I'd recommend to listeners that they start with this one and move forward from there. Move forward to other points that work for their symptoms.
That is wonderful. And in terms of, so like you said, in between the 2 and the fleshy point, more towards the index finger. So that's the LI4, correct?
Correct.
Point, right?
Correct. Large intestine 4.
So this would be good for what specifically? So you mentioned like constipation.
Yes. So digestive system issues. There's also indications that it helps with asthma and respiratory problems, anything with the face, the sinuses, the jaw, the mouth. Like it's an all-encompassing point.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. And is there a recommendation of how long to massage it for? Can you do it for too long? Like anything for people to be aware of?
There's nothing that would be detrimental. I've always just done it till it feels like it's time to stop. You don't want to bruise. You don't want to press so hard that you actually bruise. You just sort of massage it and it's like, okay, I'm done. And with the one thing I also like about energy medicine is that it can cause no harm, that it's not detrimental. So that by massaging that point, it won't lock something up or hurt something. It's just about getting the energy flowing, and you'll sort of start to know, okay, I've had enough. Time to do something else. Rub another point.
And just one more question on that. So if somebody massages it and it's a bit tender or a little sore, what does that mean?
That means that you need to massage it, because that means it's stuck. So when our bodies are optimally healthy, the energy is flowing through us. When the energy gets stuck, that's when we get discomfort. So when we're massaging that little fleshy piece, that's when it feels uncomfortable. When the energy is not flowing through organs, that's when the energy stagnates. And when that leads to constipation, like you mentioned, it can lead to liver problems, to the allergies, to asthma, right? We end up with disease when we're no longer in ease.
Ease. Love it. Oh, that's wonderful. And just one more practical, if I may, that I'd like to ask you. In terms of what I feel would really benefit people right now is a good grounding practice, right? To get us grounded so we can just kind of, face the challenges of current times. So can you walk us through your favorite type of grounding exercise?
I'd like to explain what grounding means, because I've met people, and even myself, when I started this journey, I didn't know what the word meant. Yes. So grounding means being present, means being in your body, and it means being in this moment, being aware and conscious of this moment and where you're at and what's happening in your body in this moment. And grounding is very important because it actually connects us to our Mother Earth, to this planet on which we live, the planet that nourishes us, nurtures us. And when we get disconnected from the planet, that again is when things go out of whack. So as you're listening to this, as you're watching this, put your feet flat on the ground and get comfortable. And we're going to actually do a mini grounding exercise together. Wonderful. So everyone take in a deep, deep inhale and breathe in healing and light and love. And as you exhale, let go of what you no longer need. Heaviness, anger, fear, resentment, and breathe again. And as you exhale, feel your body relaxing and letting go and releasing. Another deep inhale. And as we exhale, feel yourself connecting to the earth beneath your feet. Mother Earth, the earth that supports us and nourishes us. Take another deep, deep breath in. And as you exhale, feel your energy connecting to all the energy in your body and around your body. As you feel your body relaxing, grounding and connecting to the earth on which we live, feel yourself opening up to your true potential, opening up to who you really are. In this moment, you are the best self you can be. in this moment, humanity needs each one of us to be our best selves. Feeling yourself in your body, connecting to your wholeness, connecting to who you really are, feeling yourself opening up to this beautiful light within you, this beautiful energy that's a part of you. When I first started this journey back in 2007, I wrote my first mantra. Listen to it now and use it as a tool to help you ground. I am balanced. I am centered. I am grounded. I am me. Take a couple more quieting, deep breaths into your core, filling up your whole lung and allowing yourself to become true to yourself. And then, as you feel ready, wiggle fingers or toes, open your eyes, come back to awareness, consciousness, and being awake.
Thank you. That was beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I feel so calm right now. That's amazing. So much energy was going through it. I was following along. Oh my gosh. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, Holistic Healing is the new book that I highly recommend that Dr. Roshon is author and part of. And we will link into the show notes all the information so where you can actually get a copy of the book for you. And just one last question before I let you go. If people want to learn more from you, if they want to find you online, what are the best places to connect with you?
I love chatting with people, so people can actually pick up a phone and we can chat, or text. Juliana will put the contact information there. My email is first name at my firstnamelastname.com. That's also my website, and there's more information there. I also have a couple short videos on my own YouTube channel if you want to go there.
I'll link to this one.
Okay. So, no, there's lots of ways to reach me.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for your time again. It was such a pleasure to interview you and learn a little bit more about your book. And I look forward to doing this again in the future.
Thank you. This has been wonderful.
Bye.
And to all the listeners, thank you for listening.
Yes. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.